Hello everyone, welcome back to Demon Slayer What Ifs. Today is part 10, the end of Musen. Please make sure to like and subscribe. So I know that you all like the content I put out. It helps me out a ton and lets me know you all like this stuff. So now on to the video. Michikatsu wakes up and he sees Kane cuddling their son. He smiles and he kisses their cheeks and he gets out of bed and he goes to the master to check his health. He goes to the master's room and he kneels in front of and asks if the master is in good health. The master says, Michikatsu, yes, I'm on good health and feeling better. As the master smiles and the master turns serious and says that he feels that Musen will be coming for him soon and that he needs Michikatsu, Yoriichi, and Tanjiro to train the Hashira and to train the Demon Slayers to grant them their Demon Slayer mark and to access their red and purple blade that they can maybe access if they train them hard enough. Michikatsu bows and says yes sir, that he will train them along with his brother and Tanjiro. The master smiles and says that he knows that Yoriichi and Michikatsu will be the ones to kill Musen and tells Michikatsu to leave and grab his brother and to have a Hashira meeting about the training. Michikatsu bows and leaves the master's room and goes to his brother. Michikatsu goes to Yoriichi's room telling his brother that there has to be an emergency Hashira meeting because the master fears that Musen is going to make his moves on the Demon Slayer Corps in a few days now that they have killed 3 Upper Moons thanks to them, and that Kamado Kid killing Upper Moon 6 with very little casualties to him and the other Slayers with him. He's getting close to Hashira level with us, brother. You trained him well, Michikatsu says to Yoriichi, but Yoriichi says that they both trained him very well. They get their crows and tells them to go tell the Hashiras that there is going to be an emergency Hashira meeting in a few days and that they have to be there in a few minutes. The Hashiras get the message from Yoriichi's and Michikatsu's crow and they quickly rush to the master mansion. Yoriichi and Michikatsu and their wives Kane and Shinobu are already there waiting for the other Hashira to join them. When the rest of the Hashira get there and they ask why they are there and what happened, Michikatsu speaks up and says that the master wanted there to be an emergency Hashira meeting while he was talking to him and that the master will not be joining us, that the master wants it to be just between the Hashira because the master wants there to be a Hashira training to the rest of the Slayer Corps, and that now that Kane is better, she is cleared for combat again, and that they will discuss who will train the Slayers. They both are shocked, but they start discussing who will train who. Tenjin is the first to speak and says that he can train speed, but Yoriichi disagrees and says he should be leaving that to Michikatsu or him since they are the fastest Hashira, but that Tenjin should teach them they slashing skills to help them swing their blade faster since he has the speed. With that, Tenjin smiles and says he will gladly accept. Then Kane steps in and says that she will train the Slayers on their total concentration, constant breathing to keep their stamina up. Michikatsu smiles at Kane and says okay, Kane has that, and that Abanai will train them on where they slash their swords, teaching them how to end fights fast. Abanai scoffs and agrees to it, and that Mitsuri will train them to be flexible to dodge attack effortlessly since the core has problems with that, and that she's the most flexible. Michikatsu speaks up and says that Yoriichi should teach them how to enter their selfless state and how to activate their Demon Slayer mark, and in the end they will go Agents U to see if they can hold themselves off Agents U. If they can, then they are done. Michikatsu will take care of speed since he is just a little faster than Yoriichi with holding his purple bright blade, and that he will also teach the members to activate their red or purple blade color, and that Jaime will take care of their strength and toughness. Shinobu will work with Tamayo, a demon that escaped Musen, to make a poison to stop Musen from escaping, and that Ju will teach them how to be ready for every attack, and Machiro will make sure there is no weak points between them. If there is, make them adapt to it to make sure they can be unstoppable. All the Hashiras agree with everything and the meeting is dismissed. But Kane stops the Hashira before they leave and asks when will they start the training. Michikatsu speaks up and says that we will begin the training of the core members tomorrow. As for the Hashira, they will train agents each other, and when they feel like they have gotten stronger, that to go on to the next Hashira they can take on. They agree, and the Hashira leave, but Michikatsu goes to Kane and kisses her, and says that he's worried about her getting hurt, since Michikatsu almost lost his life. Agents Musen, and that sun breathing was the only way he got away to stay alive. Kane smiles and hugs him tight, and says that she doesn't have to worry cause she has the best husband Michikatsu and the best brother-in-law Yoriichi to protect her. Michikatsu smiles and hugs her back, but then the master's wife Lady Amain walks in and says that the master wants to have a conversation with Michikatsu. Then she leaves. Michikatsu smiles at Kane and says that he will be back. Then he breaks the hug and goes to the master. He kneels before the master and the master says that his sickness is getting better and that he can see again. Michikatsu smiles and says that he's glad that the master is getting better day by day. The master says that the new Butterfly Mansion building is done being built and they can now go move over there. Michikatsu bows and thanks the master for letting them stay there, and thanking Lady Amain for helping Kane give birth to his son. The master and his wife smile and say no. Thank you Michikatsu for killing the traitor Sanemi. Michikatsu says no, it was nothing, he killed the slayers and was about to hurt Kane. So he had to. The master says that he will also be going over to see them and the child for some days. Michikata smiles and says, yes sir, come visit him, Kane and his kid, whenever he wants. The master smiles and says that Michikatsu can now leave. Michikatsu bows and leaves and tells Kane the good news. Michikatsu goes to Kane and he says that the new butterfly mansion is ready and that it's done and that they can move over there right now. Kane smiles and says that she will get ready. Michikatsu goes to Yurichi and Shinobu and he says that the new butterfly mansion is ready, get your stuff and get ready. They smile and hurry to get ready. When they finally get done packing and done walking to the new home, they are stopped at the door. Kane says, well honey, open the door. Michikatsu smiles and opens the door for them, and they see a much more beautiful and bigger butterfly mansion with some new things. They are all in shock from what they see. They go in the house, and they pick their rooms. Kane smiles and says that it's perfect for them as Michikatsu finishes putting up the baby's crib, and he lays his son down to go back to sleep. Michikatsu sits on the bed and says he can't believe it. The master did such a wonderful job. Kane sits next to him, and she says that she's happy cause this is a beautiful place for them and for them to raise their kids. Michikatsu blushes and says kids. Kane says that she wants more kids when her son is just a little older. Michikatsu smiles and agrees and says that they should go look around. They go exploring around the house, seeing that there is a training area, a hot spring, a waterfall area, and them seeing very beautiful things that they didn't have before in the other butterfly mansion, even a meditation area. Kane was so happy and amazed seeing everything. Then it starts to get dark at Go to night. Michikatsu says he's going to go shower and to get ready for tomorrow. When Go goes to the bathroom, he sees very beautiful things and a giant shower area. He is amazed and goes and takes a shower. When he gets out, he sees Kane in bed waiting for him to get out the shower, and he changes into his bedclothes and he lays next to Kane, and she says she's going to go take a shower as well and then cuddle him. He smiles and waits for her. Michikatsu waits for Kane, and she quickly takes a shower and she gets dressed in her night clothes and she gets in bed and cuddles Michiaksu, and Kane smiles and closes her eyes and goes to sleep with her head on Michikata's shoulder and sleeps. Michikatsu looks and smiles and goes to sleep with her. Michikatsu makes sure to wake up extra early to get ready for the training for the corps members, and he waits for the corps members to show up to the new butterfly mansion so they can start there training. When the corps members arrive, they are terrified that they are training under the second strongest Hashira. The first thing Michikatsu says that they are going to do is that they are going to race him and try to tag him. The corps members think that it's going to be easy, and Michikatsu says we are going to start now. Then Michikatsu vanishes cause of his speed. They can barely see him. When they do see him, he's about 300 yards ahead of them. They are shocked, and they run after him to try and catch him. Of course, they can't, and are gassed. In about 10 minutes of trying to catch him, Michikatsu gets angry and says that they are too slow and that they need to run up and down a mountain in 5 minutes. If all of them aren't back, they do it again. Michikatsu screams time starts now. The corps members are in fear and run up and down the mountain in 4 minutes. Michikatsu congratulates them on and doing it in a short time. He says the next time it will be in 4 minutes and that they will need to hustle it. He tells the corps members to take a break, that he will be back. Michikatsu goes to go check on how Kane's training is going, and he sees that the corps members are going as well as his group. Terrible. He looks at Kane, and she looks sad that they aren't doing that. Well, he goes to Kane, and he gives her a hug. Kane is happy to see him, and she asks what he is doing there. Michikatsu says he wanted to check on her since his training with the corps members is going terrible. She says that it's going the same with her. Michikatsu says he's not surprised and that he will try to get him more students if they pass him, since the only ones there are the Kamadu squad, since they train under Michikatsu and Yurichi, and they are at Kane since she is after him to move on. Kane smiles and says that she's glad that he's working hard and that it's handsome of him. Michikatsu smiles and kisses Kane and says that they're getting better. Next they need to do is 30 seconds and that they are getting better and to just take a break, but they keep going to try and make it 30 seconds and they eventually get it. As the Demon Slayer are getting stronger with the training of the Hashira, at least 60 have passed Michikatsu's training so far of 2 days of their training. And since the Demon Slayers are on break, Michikatsu decides he will train with his wife Kane so that she can awaken her Demon Slayer mark. With the help of her husband, she awakens. It's a flower-shaped Demon Slayer mark on her forehead, almost the same as Michikatsu's Demon Slayer mark. Going to her neck, Michikatsu blushes at the sight of her Demon Slayer mark and says that she looks beautiful, and he kisses her. They hug each other, and talk about how they are afraid of losing each other, him hearing that he hugs her tighter and says that there will be nothing to separate them from each other and that they will love each other until they die. Kane is happy and says she's so lucky to have a husband like him. They kiss each other one last time before they go back to training the other Slayers.